Welcome back. It is Sunday, April 21st in the MLB. Our three best bets are on the way. It's Austin, joined by Logan today, joined by your guys' favorite special guest. You know what it is. The Broom is here. A 3-0 sweep on Saturday. Absolutely beautiful. Let's do a recap, then dive into today's picks. Marlins Cubs, game one, nerfy. Hey, we'll take it. Assad made us sweat, but Luzardo took us home in the bottom of the first. We appreciate them. Red Sox Pirates under 4.5, first five. It was a little sweaty. We had bases loaded in the bottom of the fifth, could not afford a hit, and we did not get that. So we got a winner there. And then Angels and Reds over 9.5. There were 7 runs in the first inning. They didn't want to score until like the 5th or 6th, but it ended up coming through pretty easily. That is a 3-0 sweep. Hopefully we can continue that momentum today for you all, and hopefully we can stay dialed in on Sunday when normally things are a little bit wonky. But without further ado, let's dive into the picks though today. As always, if you ever want to get the picks early, you can join our DubClub. I'll put a 7-day free trial link at the top of the description. You get all our MLB picks early. You get our NBA picks early too. So definitely check that out if you want to. We also had a perfect sweep in the NBA as well. That video will be live a little bit after this one. But let's dive into the picks, Logan. You got 2 of them today. I'm going to let you lead things off with your first one of the day. Where are you going?
Yeah, I'm staying here in Philadelphia for my first pick. I'm going to the White Sox and Phillies game, and I'm taking the under 7.5 total runs. Plus 100 odds on Caesars is your best value. Now, I imagine, this is just me forecasting how this will go. I imagine this line probably does close closer to 8 by first pitch. So obviously, the CLV might not benefit me the most, but I do like the under 7.5, and 8 would push if that's where you want to go. Now, I said here in Philadelphia. For those of you who don't know, I live in Philadelphia. The weather report, I'll give you the weather report today in Philly. Slight winds to right field, but only 52 degrees by first pitch. Colder weather helps an under, especially in Citizens Bank Park. That place turns into a launch pad in the summertime when it's like, 80, 90, but today it's 52. So obviously you like to see that for the under. The first 2 games of the series, this line, the full game line, could have been just for the Phillies team total, 7.5, right? Because that's where they were hovering, like 7 and then 9 runs yesterday. I really do think we see a lower scoring game, though. There's a reason why the odds makers shifted the total to 7.5, right? Yesterday, they were dead wrong with the low total with Wheeler on the mound. For them to put out another 7.5 line, to me, indicates that they expect a lower scoring game. Once again, trusting the starting pitching in this one. And I am. Aaron Nola, 3.47 ERA and a 1.24 whip. Aaron Nola, pretty good pitcher. Is he as good as Wheeler? Probably not, but you look at Nola, he has a 224 batting average and a 181 expected batting average to this White Sox roster as a whole. I think he has his way today. His K-prop will probably be a pretty popular play, but I still like it, right? Because you look at yesterday, for 7 1/3 innings pitched yesterday, the White Sox were being no-hit. I mean, come on. This is the matchup to feast against if you're a right-handed starting pitcher. Why? The White Sox are only hitting 193 versus righties. That's 29th in baseball. I'm gonna ask you the trivia question. Who's the only team worse? Pause this video, think about it for a second. The only team worse is the Minnesota Twins. Yeah, I mean, wow. So clap it up for the Twins, just stinking it up there. And you look at this White Sox offense too. They only average 2 runs scored per game. That is dead last, 30th in Major League Baseball. Every other game, it feels like the White Sox are being shut out. They just don't have the roster to be able to string together hits and get runs consistently like that. Yesterday, the box score is very deceiving. They did not score 5 runs. Yes, they did in the box score, but the Phillies brought in a reliever that he will be sent down to AAA very soon. And he just hosted batting practice in the 9th inning, which hilarious if you had White Sox team total under because he got screwed majorly there. But I think Nola takes care of this White Sox team, and I think he goes deep into this game, limit exposure to this Phillies bullpen. Now, on the other side, we got Nick Nastrini starting for the White Sox, 3.6 ERA and a 1 whip. Nastrini's making his second start. First start, he went 5 innings pitched, 2 earned runs versus the Royals. A solid outing. I could live with that today if he's able to do that. And then you look at some line reading and props in the props market like Austin and I like to do. On FanDuel, every hitter besides Trey Turner is minus 230 or better to record a hit today, which I find strange because this is a Phillies offense that's heating up, definitely. Now, it would be a typical Sunday fashion for this Phillies offense that everyone's been trusting, everyone's been, kind of vibing with right now to lay an egg. because that's sometimes how it happens. And I also don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for the Phillies to rest a few players. I heard them talking on the telecast last night that they might rest Real Muto, which would mean Stubbs is in there. Obviously, Stubbs not the power bat that JT is. So you have that. Sundays are always the day where these teams will give players rest days. That's why you got to look for starting lineups before you just go betting in the prop markets. Then we can talk about the bullpens, right? White Sox 13th in bullpen ERA, Phillies 30th in bullpen ERA. Yeah, I know the Phillies bullpen brutal, but again, I think Noah is able to give us length in this one, and the White Sox bullpen actually not that bad. At 13th in bullpen ERA, I can take it. And the great news, last point, is that we'd only get 8 innings of at-bats for the Phillies if they're winning. The far better offense would get limited because they are the home team. So we only have to really survive 8 innings of them if they're winning. Even if they're losing, well, chalk it. But yeah, I really do like the under 7.5 as my first total pick of the day. But Austin, where are you going for yours?
You guys hate betting unders? Don't worry, I don't got one for you today. I got an over, and we're going to hopefully cash this one with ease, just like Logan's one with the Angels and Reds game. And like yesterday, I went to the Pirates and Red Sox game. I'm actually going back to that one, but today I'm asking for runs, as I'm taking the full game over 8.5, which is currently minus 110 on basically every single book. I don't expect this line to change. If it goes down to 8, cool, take it. If it goes up to 9, I don't mind it there too. Obviously, 8.5 is honestly the sweet spot, which we want to back. Now, let's talk about through 2 games in this series. We've seen combined runs in the first game of the series 9, so we're barely over. Yesterday, only 6 runs. So if you're looking at the over/under, 1-1. This is kind of the which does the over win the series or the under? But you look at in game 1, these 2 teams stunk. Despite scoring 9 runs, 1 for 19 with runners in scoring position. In game 2 yesterday, as I know, 3 for 16 with runners in scoring position. There have been so many opportunities. Just the teams are 4 for 35, batting 114 with runners in scoring position. Now, I'm not saying the regression hits today where, hey, they start to get those hits, but eventually the hits are going to start coming. And despite, terrible hitting, with runners in scoring position, we're still getting to the 9 runs in one game. And we still got the 6 yesterday. There should have been a lot more runs yesterday. My first 5 probably should have been cooked based on how the teams were hitting those guys. But let's talk about the starting pitchers, where I don't really honestly think I think we see some run opportunities early and late in this game. Josh Winkowski is scheduled to go for the Red Sox, right? He's typically been used as a reliever. That's what he's done this year. That's what he did last year. But in 2022, he was used as a starter. And in 2022, he had a 5.89 ERA and a 1.6 whip. So as a starter, he hasn't really pitched too well. This year, as a reliever, he hasn't pitched well either. He's a 4.63 ERA, which looks great. But his whip, 2.06. Any guy with a whip at 2, that is bad for business, and he is going to put some guys on base, and all we're asking for is the timely hits, which the Pirates have been unable to get so far this series. They only have 3 runs to their name through 2 games, but I think the Pirates offense shows up against Winkowski. If he can't go far, it's not like, the Red Sox didn't got a lot of depth yesterday out of Cutter Crawford, so they had to use some guys too. And the Red Sox bullpen has been on hit or miss this season. So I think we'll get some runs up on Winkowski. I think we can get some up on their bullpen. I think the Pirates offense shows up today, gets those timely hits. That's what we need. Now, we also really can't have a one-sided affair because I don't expect the Pirates to score 9 runs. If they do, we appreciate them. I might buy a Pirates jersey. But on the other side, we got Martin Perez starting for the Pirates. The 33-year-old, obviously the veteran. He's a lefty. He's going to come in here. He's been honestly pretty good for him. 2.55 ERA and a 1.26 whip. He's been good. He's been giving up some hits, and that's kind of Martin Perez's game. He's going to give up some hits, going to have some base runners on. It's a question of, will you get those guys home? And so far, against the teams that he's faced, the Marlins, Nationals, Tigers, and Mets, they haven't been able to get it done. The Mets are put up 3 runs against him in his last start, but those other 3 offenses, Marlins, Nats, and Tigers, not really offenses that you're too afraid of. And I'm not saying, hey, be afraid of the Red Sox offense, but we do look at Martin Perez's expected ERA sitting at 4.34, nearly double what his regular ERA is. And you also look at some underlying metrics. They don't really look great for him. 23rd percentile in expected batting average, 18th in whiff rate, 16th in K percentage, 25th in hard hit percentage. So he's getting hit hard, not missing bats. He's just honestly getting a little bit lucky that teams aren't able to get those hits with runners in scoring position. And being a 33-year-old vet, sure, you're probably more, obviously you've seen a lot more reps and you kind of know what the pitches to throw when, you got guys on base. But I think this is a Red Sox team that can show up and offensively. I mean, you look at his hits allowed, prop sitting at 5.5, juice to the over. His walks allowed is 1.5, minus 205 on the over. So I expect plenty of base runners today. The question is, will we get those timely hits? I can't guarantee it from either side, but all we can ask for is base runners. And if they don't get hit home, that it is what it is. We just can't have like a Martin Perez masterclass, but I don't think that comes today. I really think this is a game where we see both of the offenses show up. If each team scores 4, we cash out. And I really think that neither bullpen is honestly elite. Pirates was supposed to be really good coming into the year. Hasn't been as good this year. Pretty bottom 10 in terms of ERA. I think there's a lot of run opportunities in this game. Let's just get those timely hits. Pirates and Red Sox. Give me the over 8.5 as my favorite pick of the day. But Logan, I'll let you wrap it up with your final pick. No Nerfy Nation today, but this is our third and final pick of the day. What you got?
Yeah, you ready for this one? It's at least plus value, so you have that to look forward to. I'm taking the Cardinals on the -1.5 run line, plus 130 odds on FanDuel is your best value. Now, I am laying the -1.5 run line. It's something I've rarely done this year and rarely do any of the years anymore. This bet, though, has the chance to make me look like a genius or a fool. There's no in between with this one, because the Cardinals could lose outright and make me look stupid. But I'm taking a plus money shot on the home team run line. Now, the home team run line is harder to cover than, obviously, the road team, because the home team, if they are leading by 1, they don't bat in the bottom of the ninth, right? We know how that works. Cardinals, the reason I'm backing them today, they have stunk it up this series. They're just sitting on a good game. There's no reason they shouldn't play extra hard today to avoid getting swept by your division rival and your ace on the mound. I think they have an extra motivation to really try and get those runs across the board, because it's something they haven't really done consistently. And this is the shot. I said they have their ace on the mound. They have their ace, Sonny Gray, starting for the Cardinals. 0 ERA and a .82 whip on the year. Gray has been great to start the year, and his StatCast numbers are really good. Let me read you them. 97th percentile in walk percentage. Love to see no free base runners. 79th percentile in barrel percentage. 87th percentile in hard hit percentage. 75th percentile in K percentage. This guy's elite. He is elite at getting the swing and a miss, and he will need his best stuff today versus a Brewers offense that just put up 12 yesterday. Again, law of averages, do they go out and scorch again? I don't really know, because the day before, they really struggled to get up runs. They only scored 2. They needed an extra innings close win in that one. If there's a weakness to the Spurs offense, it's the strikeouts. 20th in strikeouts per game, and that's what Sonny Gray is so good at doing. He's so good at putting hitters away in a 2-strike count. I think he actually deals today, and I think he holds the Brewers offense down. And the question is, can St. Louis bring the bats? I'm confident they can today against Colin Ray. 2.7 ERA and a 1.2 whip. The reason I always bring up these numbers is because ERA is sometimes deceiving. Ray's expected ERA, 6.26. That's one of the highest differences between real and expected that I've seen so far this year. Colin Ray is due some hard regression, is what the expected numbers are telling us. And it makes sense, because if you look at his StatCast numbers, Ray he doesn't generate a lot of swing and miss. 16th percentile in K percentage, 15th percentile in whiff percentage. Not a whole lot of strikeouts there, and that's something I worry about this Cardinals team, because they whiff a lot and they swing at bad pitches a lot. Also, Colin Ray, 21st percentile in ground ball percentage. That's not that great, and especially against a Cardinals offense that I've seen ground into double play, roll over on ground ball. Just do that time and time again. If Colin Ray is actually elevating his pitches and getting these hitters to get some hard hit extra base hits today, heck, Cardinals could be free. But the Ray is also allowing a .304 batting average to righties this year. The best hitters in this Cardinals lineup are right-handed bats. Goldie, Contreras, and Arenado are all righties. That's where the damage needs to be done today. I mean, do I expect the bottom of the lineup, who's been putrid most of the year, to give me production? No. It would be awesome if they did, though. But I still think if you get the heart of the order right there, getting production, I think that we're going to stand a really good chance at cashing. And then we look at bullpens. Milwaukee, 8th in bullpen ERA. St. Louis, 11th in bullpen ERA. Very close there. I still think St. Louis should be able to hold a 2-run lead late and their bullpen not blow it. Fingers crossed, right? But if you're too scared, you don't have to tell this bet. But I am taking a plus money shot on this Sunday. I think it's a really solid bet to make. I think the value is certainly there with the St. Louis Cardinals. Come on, Redbirds. Treat me right in that one.
Come on, Cardinals, baby. Those are our 3 favorite picks of the day. We could not satisfy on we couldn't settle on a Nerfy. Yeah, there were just none that we really absolutely love. So rather not force one, instead we'll go with these 3 picks. Hopefully, try to bring out this bad boy once again. And we'll see you guys back again tomorrow with some more picks when the parlay of the day returns. But of course, if you want to go check out our NBA best bets, when that video is live, I'll link it on the screen. About to go record that and post those plays. But it's Austin Logan. We're signing out. We'll see you guys back tomorrow, hopefully with the brooms out. We'll see you then. Peace.